talk to Rav last night though, chat. I did talk to Rav last night. We were talking, me, Rav, and Gav sat down. We were talking about the fundamental issue of cop and crim right now, and how paint time, paint time. Get your coloring books out. Get your coloring books out. We're painting. We're painting, everybody. We're painting. We are painting. Art time. I need music. I need my creative juices flowing. Perfect. Okay, so listen. This is the conversation last night, okay? This was the conversation last night. So, on one side, you have cop, right? Oh, Jesus. All right, I can't listen to music. Too many things happening. Okay, so on one side, you have cop. On the other side, you have crim, right?
Happy birthday, you old
right?
fart.
You have one side that's cop, one side that's crim.
They'll better understand why you're balding. Have you reached out to the turkey companies to see who's going to sponsor the hair transplant?
No, I don't need a hair transplant. I have a full head of hair. Okay? I have a full fucking head of hair. All right? So, this is the issue that we have in the server right now. Right? This is the issue. Why y'all talking shit about my pee? That's a good pee. That is a good pee. Can I fucking yap? Are y'all going to allow me to yap without yapping yourselves? I feel like I'm a comedian and everyone's just shouting at the stage during one of my bits. All right. Fuck the paint. Fuck the paint. Honestly, as I'm thinking about it, the paint's going to make it even harder. Listen, so you have cop and crim, right? Right now, there's a fundamental issue that all the cops are tuned up for guys like CG, Ballas, BSK, so on and so forth. We have cops driving around in S-classes all the time, including myself. We have multiple S-classes, on every chase. And unless we are going against those gangs, it's overkill. My argument, which I understand, I don't disagree with that. My argument for it was, like, every time we go onto a chase and we don't have an S-class car, they pull an S-class. If we go on a chase and we don't have a motorcycle, CRIMS pull a motorcycle. If we don't have a chase and people are, we don't have a helicopter, they use a helicopter. So it's like, my argument for it is how are we supposed to chase someone and not have everything like at our disposal, right, in a chase? And then when people pull it in, it's just instant VCB. Like, I'll use for an example, last night, I think Jack was chasing somebody, and the cops waited 30 minutes for the jewelry store or whatever it was. And then right when the people started running away, they didn't even try to get away from Jack. All they did, because I went and watched the VOD, all these guys did was drive around in circles. Legitimate circles, not attempting to get away, just attempting not to get arrested by cops, until their friend would come with a bike, pick a guy up, drive away, drop them off, come back, pick another guy up, and they just kept doing that, which is just shitty. We have a really, really bad problem right now in Prodigy, and we've had it for a while, but we have a really bad problem right now with people not refusing to get caught, but doing the most shitty things to get away, And Rav's point was, and it was a good point, where it's like, if you have the A team on cops, and by the A team, we're not talking about people, we're talking about equipment, fast cars, Air One, bikes. If you have that kind of stuff on every chase, people are going to do ratty stuff to get away because it's the only way they can. Not everybody's good drivers. Not everybody knows every jump in the server, and so on and so forth, which is valid. I get it. I agree. But how do you fix that? We sat there for literally hours last night talking about, like, how to fix it. What could we do to fix it? How do we balance that? How does that conversation even happen? You know, because on Rav's side, Rav's been playing Crim. On Rav's side, it's like every time I get into a chase, I have the whole battalion on me, and it's for a box truck, and it's a B class. And my argument was, well, Rav, every chase that I get in, well, I mean, even just yesterday, right? We got in a chase, and every single one is by most likely a gang doing a jewelry store, bank robbery, or whatever. And they have those S classes, they have those multiple swaps, they have all of that. So I floated this idea. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I floated it. I want to hear your guys' opinions on it. We reduce the amount of cop cars that are allowed to attach to a chase. I said 6, Rav countered with 5, and I do not disagree with 5 cars. We make it to where CRIMS are only allowed to have 3 vehicles involved in a chase. If that's a bike, a car, and a fucking block, if that's 3 cars getting involved, if it's anything like that, like they have 3 cars that they can use, cops have 5, and that's it. There's no more than that. The problem with that is, and as you guys know, is that number one, we restrict the amount of officers who can be in a car unless, you know, it's the Rangers. Like, I think it's max 2 and 3 on like only special occasions for LSPD. So then whenever a gunfight would happen, cops would have 10 cars and then CRIMS would have 5, which would be dog shit. So it's just, I don't know, man. It's such a hard thing to fix. Like, I don't know. Anyways, my idea is at least for pursuits, 3 max for crim, 5 max for cops, and it restricts us being able to have all those different vehicles attached, and it also restricts crims on being able to swap 5 times. Because for me, it's, you know, after the 3rd swap in an hour of chasing, it just gets annoying and shit. And for the crims, it's like, I don't want to go to prison and the rest of my stream being me doing jobs for the next 45 minutes. So I don't know. I don't know. I will say this. I think the taser is getting changed again. We brought up yesterday about the fact that, you know, with the taser right now, and I agree completely, the taser, like, you can fill it up with 24 shots. You can just load that bitch up and not have to reload it at all. So we floated the idea of, for helping crims with foot bail, maybe we make it to where instead of they can break cuffs 3 total times, they can break cuffs once. Yo, much love, dude. Thank you for the 5. Instead of crims being able to break cuffs 3 times, they can break cuffs once, and then they'll get cuffed on the 2nd attempt. But for cops, they only get 3 shots in their taser before they have to reload, or 2 shots in their taser before they have to reload. So as a crim is running, a cop has to open up his pockets and reload the taser, giving them more of a chance. You know? Horrible idea. Explain why. What do you guys... That's why we're talking about it. None of this is concrete. This is just ideas. You have 5 cops with a chaser tasting. Rav brought that point up. Rav got that point up. But the problem is, Chad, it's like, dude, do you guys not find it cringe whenever you see me chasing somebody and I tase them and I handcuff them and they break, and then I tase them and I handcuff them and they break, and they continue to run and they continue to fucking, like, it just feels like the foot bail is forced almost, you know? I also talked to Rav, and I think it's finally going to get fixed, the escort and put in vehicle shit. So you know how people, Suarez does this always. I'll use him for an example because I don't mind shitting on Suarez. He's the homie. Suarez will grab somebody, get as close to the car as possible, and while being tased and tackled, still putting that person in the car. I think that's finally getting addressed and fixed. At least Rav said so last night, that they're going to look into it. But this whole meta that's happening on the crim side of people grabbing, getting close to the car, no mattering if they get tackled or tased, they're still able, thank you, to put that guy in the car. I think that's getting changed. Thank God. That was a necessity, bro. That shit sucks. I thought the hospital was a green zone. I did too, man. I don't know what's going on. I think it is, but people just don't treat it that way. I don't know. See, this is the problem, right? How what you guys see in the chat right now, all of us talking, this was exactly what we did last night. We would say something, we'd be like, oh, this might be a good idea, and it's like, well, the other side, it would, it would suck. Like, well, fuck, I don't know then.
Let's do it.
I'll be honest, it's too early for drums. Too early for drums. There should be a consequence for cops going over extra numbers. There is. There is consequences. People have gotten fired for it. People have gotten demoted for it. People are getting sent off duty for it. People are getting threatened to lose their jobs. There's plenty of consequences for that. And I also think this whole like ideology of the cops are doing it on purpose because they want to go over numbers to kill all the crims, like that's just so retarded. It's not it at all. It's just people over responding because they're excited to be part of something. That is the main and like the 99% reason it happens is because people are just trying to get there and be part of a gunfight, and they're going over numbers. It's not them trying to screw over whoever they're getting a gunfight with. It's poor communication and excitement. You know, it's funny that actually we talked about that last night, Harper, a little mini game. So like giving the abilities for cops to pull people out of cars, but having like a mini game, like a tug of war mini game of you having to press a key and they have to press a key. But then it's like you create more of that awkward time in chases to where, like it's like the cuff stuff whenever people are just standing there for a second doing the mini game. I don't know. It's a lot of like awkward time.